All right, welcome back. We're going to try and get through another chunk today. Now, I wanted to show something, last time I was talking about how, I think you can bypass Stormveil Castle, and I think, look at the map, it seems like there should be a way to do it. So let me just double check and see if the woman in this shack has gone back to Round Table Hold first. I was curious if maybe defeating... Nope, she's still here. All right. That's not enough to get her to advance. But yeah, let's give this one more shot. Because I feel like this should be possible. Basically, we're going to go back to that, in one of these last videos, we talked to a woman next to a bridge. She said the bridge is out, so... And like, that one bonfire I was staring right out and missed twice. I think I had the right idea, and then I missed it. Because I feel like it's that. I don't know if you can see. There seems to be like a little hole in the cliff face up ahead. I'm not sure if that's just rendering distance, but I think... I think it's this passage. So you go to that bridge, and then you sort of, hook around the end. So I like, in my memory, I was like halfway correct, and then I just missed or forgot the last step. And I think that hole we just traveled through was the hole on the cliff face that I thought I saw. So what I do is sometimes I watch these videos back, just sort of spot check and stuff like that. And this one I was sitting there going like, I could have swore I remember, and just couldn't. And then when, I sort of caught it a little bit off the corner, I was like, is that something? And then I, went online and I was like, let me just double check to make sure I'm not hallucinating. And yeah, that was it. So I've actually never entered the castle through this passage. Maybe I've exited. Maybe this is how you exit the passage. So I just grabbed what's called a Shibiri grape, I think. But what a Shibiri grape actually is, if I can find it in my inventory... I'm not sure what... Yeah, it's an eyeball. A lot of things in basically Soulsborne series involve eyes. Bloodborne did it really well. There's always something going on with eyes. But yeah, so now we're at the back of the castle. And I think this is, if you proceed through the castle... might be where you come out after the second boss fight. Now the interesting question is, can you actually open this door from the other side? And I don't honestly know the question. I've never actually skipped the boss fight. Or skipped Margit to get to the second boss fight, I should say. I've always sort of proceeded the more linear way. But what you can do now is you can go back outside and now you are looking at an entirely new section. So again, like, the amount of the world you can explore before you even bother with Stormveil Castle is quite high, quite a lot. And now we're going to, speaking of eyes, we'll go talk to her for a second. So let's take a look. You can see she's blindfolded.
Hello? Is someone there? My name is Hayata, and I'm journeying in search of the distant light. If I might be so bold as to ask, would you donate any Shibiri grapes in your possession to me? My eyesight has been weak since birth, you see. I can't tell which way I'm supposed to go next, but when I eat one of those grapes, I can feel a distant light in the back of my eyes. It will lead me to my true duty as a finger maiden. Oh, many thanks to you. Now I can feel the distant light once more. You are most kind indeed. May the blessing of the fingers be upon you. You are most kind indeed. May the blessing...
Okay. So, yeah, hers is an interesting sort of little side quest. She, the Shibiri grapes are obviously eyeballs, so she doesn't quite understand what she's eating because she's blind. So maybe, I don't know if she knows that a Shibiri grape is also an eyeball, and it's an eyeball that's sort of filled with... I don't know if you remember, there was that sort of madness town in the Weeping Peninsula. I think the Shibiri grapes are connected to that kind of magic, the madness sort of stuff, and it, I think, helps you sort of explore the madness quest lines, the madness lore of this world.
Perhaps you could spare some runes. Believe it or not, I studied glintstone sorceries at the Academy of Rea Lucaria. For a small donation, I'd be happy to share my knowledge. Well, bless you, bless you. You're a true saint. My name is Topes. Presuming you're interested, I can teach you sorceries as promised, only none of them are particularly great.
All right, so yeah, I don't know if we've encountered someone else. Yeah, we did. There was the person underneath the catacomb that could teach us. What do I got? I got 1,500, but I'm not going to spend them on this now because I'm not really doing...
Apologies, friend. I'm afraid my meager sorceries are no match for your generosity. All right, I can tell you what I know about this place. That should help a bit. You've seen that structure to the north, towering over the water. That's the Academy of Rea Lucaria, where we study glintstone sorceries. Only its doors have been closed for quite some time now. After they declared they wouldn't interfere with the shattering, the Academy cast repelling seals on the east gate leading to the capital, and the south gate leading here. As you might have guessed, the seals are still active, making entry to the Academy impossible without a glintstone key. And so I'm stuck here. A fledgling sorcerer with little chance of acquiring a key. When they cast the seals, I'd just popped out. And now I'm uprooted from my place of learning. Why not find yourself a glintstone key? Without one, you can't pass through the Academy, and you'll never reach the Erdtree capital. And if you find an extra glintstone key, perhaps, once you've tied up all your loose ends, and I can be very patient, would you consider donating it to me? I know it. I'm a bluntstone. Nary a hint of talent for sorcery.
I don't know if I've ever come back to give him... I don't know if I found extra keys, and I don't know if I've ever come back.
You've taken an apprenticeship with Selin. Well, that is something. Selin was well known. The most promising sorceress in the history of the Academy. I followed her at school. But there may as well have been an ocean between us. But Selin was expelled from the Academy, accused of unthinkable treatment of certain sorcerers, under the name of the Graven Witch. I still don't believe the accusations. The illustrious Selin would never do such things.
Alright, Selin, I think, might be the other sorcerer we've talked to already. Again, if nothing else, you hit up the churches because it gets you sacred tears, things like that to up your... But yeah, I think he's talking about that building off there in the distance. I think that's the Raya Lucaria Mage Academy. So again, you can sort of go here and you realize, okay, up ahead is the next map fragment. So let's grab that. You know, and then you start to, I don't know if we've encountered this in West Limgrave. You sort of find these like outpost camps. Get a little help for no reason. Now you can see uniforms aren't the same color, so this might be more like Raya Lucaria kind of guards. He busted out a little glintstone magic, so... the henchmen might look a little different. They're... cookbooks are always welcome. I want him to... basically, I want to get some criticals to heal. There we go. I guess I have another talisman pouch. I should be... there we go. Brass shield. That is a good shield. Let me... might be too heavy. I don't have the strength for it, I think. But you can see it's definitely a little bit of a bump up even from my +4. So that's good. Need to equip another talisman. Straight up raise XP, slowly restores maximum stamina. So here's the thing, I haven't put any points into HP or stamina. I feel like I don't run out of stamina. Running out of the stamina is not necessarily a problem, so maybe raising the recovery speed might help. Yeah, I think I might go with this. I mean, I could do this, which would sort of up all my stats a little bit, which would be good, but I don't know if I'm ready to start taking extra damage yet. Let me just make sure sometimes in these camps there's also like a chest that has... I know we got the cookbook, so maybe that was the end goal. But sometimes you find chest buried in the camp somewhere. right. Allocate flash charges. I feel like this is still a good... I don't think we have enough to... Not even close. Okay. So yeah, there's another merchant over here. Again, you can kill all the merchants. Take their bell bearings to
You're new around here.
the round table.
Surprised you found me in my little nook. No matter, no matter. Your money's as good as anyone else's. Why don't you take a look at my wares? Oh, but don't ask me how I got my hands on them, eh?
Now, my understanding is that these merchants are all part of like the same tribe species. I don't know what it is exactly. Smithing stone 2s are useful, but let's get that cookbook for now. Not a bad shield, again, if you're needing, but, you know, this is pretty far along to... I guess you can sell stuff. I never do, and I don't know why. Like, there are absolutely weapons I'm never going to use, but I hold on to them for some reason, like a collector. And I guess it's just because of like, you know, if I'm bored and I want to see what one's like. All right, now we have entered Elden Ring's sort of swamp area. Let's see if I can do this. Won't let me get there. Alright, I guess I'll try actually fighting him. Now you can see, well, you can't really see. Alright, let me actually fight these guys a little bit and give it another shot. Get that map fragment. And again, my intention wasn't to go ditch Stormveil Castle. It's just I get instantly distracted, and next thing you know... Interesting. What I'm trying to show you is their outfits a little bit. I feel like you sort of see a little bit of a picture there on the horseback, but I feel like they have hints of the robes of the sorcerer we just spoke to telling us about Rai Lucaria, if that makes sense. Basically, I need to figure out how to fight these guys. Can I backstab them? Yep. Because I think, like you can see, he sort of has like the bluish robe. So I wonder if these are like, you know, unwashed outcasts or something. Or if there's some bit of story to... Like, are these like sort of fallen... failed sorcerers? Were they outside of the academy and something got corrupted and that's why they had to put the academy on lockdown? I'm wondering if you can counter. So you can see, keeps getting bigger and bigger, bigger. Again, when I was like, oh, I thought this was the base. And I was like, that's great. That's a perfectly sized map for Dark Souls. Let's go. You know, because I was sort of expecting it to have the focus, intricacy of, like, say, Dark Souls 1. So I was like, if you could do that over an area this big, wow, okay. But no, it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I think this is... Yeah. Yeah, and it's just a whole other... I don't know. Again, you know what? It just continues to blow my mind, even on, like, this is sort of my third playthrough. you know, it's not the surprise of it anymore. Just, but one thing I wanted to show you that I had always missed is if you go back, I'll see if I can actually remember how to do it. But this was something I almost completely missed in my first real playthrough. I'm not sure if this is the right direction, but we'll see. Because I sort of just never went backwards. And let's see what these jellyfish are talking about here. It's not just the cave, but there's also there's a way to get underneath the cliffs. Now, one reason you might want to, you know, if you played the game before, one reason you might want to skip Stormveil is because you're basically just trying to, like, get resources to up your equipment, get your levels up, whatever it is. You know, you're just trying to, maybe there's a particular weapon you know of. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to jump the gap here. See if I can do it without getting poisoned. But that's the, you know, or if you're like me, because you're like, you know, you just stumble across it. What's this hole? Can it be done? And you sort of figure out, oh my, yeah, there is something there. Before I go down here, let me just make sure I got everything up there. So it's, but you know, it's sort of like in like Dark Souls, you take the Master Key when you know what you want, because you want to jump from A to B to C instead of doing it in the order they want to do it, because you know what you're doing, you know what you want. So I'm going to get back here, drink a potion, just to avoid the poison spray. Hoping I can, let's see if I can jump across. I don't know if there's anything worth it in the swamp there, but I'm not going to bother getting poisoned and... Alright, let's see. So again, remember, if you roll in poison, it sort of lingers on you longer. So you don't want to do what you would do in Dark Souls to get through it faster. Which for what little it's worth, I feel like there's a logic to it. Let's see who's back here. I have no idea. So I think we're fighting in a poison, so we gotta be careful. Or I just get poisoned. Some health back. Oops, it didn't follow through on the... Oh, you can counter, okay. Winged sword insignia, that might be something that is useful. Let me... So because we... That might be interesting, because we attack boom, 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 boom so often. That might be... I'll mess with it a little bit. Now, I don't know if I actually got a good look at everything. I feel like there's a passageway I ignored. I don't know if I can get back to it easily, but maybe not. Okay, now I gotta stop messing around because I am poisoned and out of health flasks. It's an easy way to cure poison. I think I have what I need to cure poison. Just lazy. All right, let me get out of here and let me see if I can actually find the thing I was trying to find. Basically what there is there's, you go back underneath. So again, the jellyfish were sort of, hey, pointing something out you should look at. There's a point in the game, we have a jellyfish, Ash, to help us out. There's a point in the game where you can summon that jellyfish and it actually has like a plot point. There's a purpose to that, Ash. It's not just to help you out. Anyway, somewhere under these cliffs, oops, if I go in a little bit, you can get underneath here. And I'm not exactly sure where the entrance is, but there's this whole little community that I basically missed until like 150 hours into my first playthrough. And as you can see, I'm struggling to find it, but it's there somewhere. And I think there's an NPC that has an interesting... That might kill me, so let's not fall off. I think there's an NPC that has an interesting little bit going on. If you can find him. He's hidden in that village. And I thought it involved following the water to the base of the cliffs, but apparently not. So, yeah, anyway, just at some point someday I'll probably find it, but it's worth hunting it down because I think there's some stuff that's worth doing. So you can see there's a whole nother section here that we don't have the map for yet. Somewhere around here I thought there was another caravan. Now you're starting to see we're on the other side of that bridge that was knocked out, that the fortune teller. This might be dumb, but let's do it. Ooh, given how many... Oh yeah, you can see like there's a caravan that maybe was trying to get across the bridge. Maybe that's why that giant's there. He was one of the ones towing it. Now, given that I had 4,000 souls, I sort of have to go back. But there you go. You can see the backside of Stormveil Castle. Like, interesting that you can sort of get down through the gravestones embedded in the cliff. But yeah, let me get my business and wonder if you can actually open the chest. Let's see if I can do it before I die. Got a tree spear. Okay. This tip right there, group passwords, is a great way. There's a couple ways to play. I think it was something they introduced in either Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne. Basically, you know, in the old days, if you wanted to co-op with your friends, like with the original Dark Souls, you had to go through all these hoops of make sure you're within the same levels, make sure you're in a certain area, and then agree upon a spot to put down your summoning sign. It was a lot. And so I think with Bloodborne, and then going forward, Dark Souls 3, then when they remastered Dark Souls, I think they'll have it now. You can set a group password that makes it easier to find each other. So it basically excludes... Let's peace out. It excludes everyone else's summoning sign, so you know exactly... Yeah, it looks like this was a caravan, and... so you know exactly who you're summoning, so you can sort of play the game in a little bit more of a controlled, what you expect co-op kind of setting. Now, on the PC version, there's a mod that lets you play start to finish in co-op. I don't know how it works. I don't know if it, you know, you have to play. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but I'm really intrigued by it because the idea of Elden Ring is fascinating. The idea of as like an open world game with the Souls mechanic, that's just my jam. I might die there. You do start to finish co-op, and oh, there we go. All right, anyway, let me call this one here. We're going to start getting some background noise, and I swear, one of these times I'm actually going to do Stormveil Castle. All right, take it easy.